Hello my lovelies and welcome to another video on my channel. As always, thank you very much for joining me today. We are going to be doing a removal of this mani. Now I know I did a similar video to this not that long ago, but there is a reason for me redoing it, and predominantly it's because after I uploaded that video to YouTube and I saw that the quality wasn't that great, like it looked a bit blurry, and I did a bit of research and I discovered that YouTube compresses videos and there's two settings, and anyway, long story short, in the meantime I have worked out how to get it to save in the better quality setting, which still isn't as good a quality as when you take it, but it's better than the one that I've already uploaded. So that's the main reason. And the second reason is because I've got a few tricky things. I think I have a feeling when I come to take this polish off. My last one was very straightforward. I had no lifting or anything. These the builder gel underneath here has been on for months and months and months. I've been refilling it as you do, but because I have a gel overlay, I generally don't have that many issues, and I just keep doing infills until it kind of gets to a point like about now where it's like, okay, it's getting a little bit tired. Also, I left them longer than I normally would, which is why you can see on the free edge, I've lost all my polish because I actually filed them back. They were getting too long. And this nail I did catch, and I can feel like I've got a little bit of a chip in there. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up at the moment. I think it's struggling with my glitter, but I have got a little chunk missing there. So, and I'm not sure if it's going to spread across the nail or if it's just going to be that chunk. So I think there's a few things that we're going to be dealing with today, but also, as you can see, if you saw me doing this mani, you saw that the various glitter techniques that I used, and as you can see, they all lasted very well. These nails are nearly 3 weeks old. So this was the nail sugar one, which, you know, has hardly any texture now. It's not as smooth as the embedded glitter, of course, but because it doesn't have the top coat on top, but there's no rough edges at all. It feels really smooth. That was the glitter fade. That was the embedded glitter. And as you can see, they've all stood the test of time, as did my nail stamp. So without further ado, I'm going to get my stuff together and we are going to remove this mani. Okay, so we are coming in with my coarse ceramic bit. I'm in forward mode at the moment and I'm doing 16 or 17,000 rotations per minute. And I've just realised as we're watching this, normally I just remove the colour, the gel polish design on top, and as soon as the colour's gone I stop filing. But because I'm going to basically file these, not off completely, but I'm going to file them mostly off, you're actually going to see some of the builder gel underneath this layer. So whilst it looks like I'm actually filing my natural nail bed parts, I'm not. I tried luminaries, like it was that milky white builder gel. I think it might be called Presence or something like that. Anyway, I tried that a few months ago. I actually didn't really like it. I used it a couple of times. I thought I would try that for something different. Because it's sort of a white base, I thought it would make my whatever gel polish I've got on top look a bit bolder. But I actually just didn't really like the look of it on my skin. It was too pale. I've got pale skin as it is. So I went back to my normal colour, which is Peace, which is that sort of nudie colour. So, but it's hard to tell in the video. It looks like I'm filing away at my nail bed in the patches that are white, but I can promise you I'm not. It's just where I've got this milky white builder gel underneath, because I wanted to get rid of a lot of that as well, because that's been on for quite a few months now. So yeah, just coming in, doing my standard forward mode, going from right to left across the nail, and then from cuticle to free edge. As you can see, I use every part of my drill bit, all 3 zones I use as I'm doing my nails, which is just good habit to get into. That's what the 3 zones are for, and of course it's also going to make your drill bit last longer because you're making use of all of the real estate. So yeah, this is one of my favourite drill bits. As I said, normally I would have stopped filing by now, but because I want to take down that builder until I've just got a very thin layer. I never remove all of my gel polish. It is a soak-off polish, and I could come in with my acetone, but I just choose not to. I don't see the point in dehydrating my nail because it's, I'm just going to put builder gel back on. So I'm really just trying to get rid of that tired layers of builder gel that have been sitting on my nail for several months now. So this nail took a little bit more effort because this was the one that I built up and did 2 layers of the glitter fade, because I found that when I did the green glitter fade on top of the gold, this is Madame Glam's Perfect Gold, and it's very aptly named, but it's also quite an opaque colour. Whereas the green, when I put the green glitter on it, it just sort of got a little bit lost. So I ended up doing an extra layer of base coat, an extra layer of glitter, and then went in with my base coat and top coat. So it ended up being thicker, long story short, than what I would normally do, which is why it took a little bit longer for me to get rid of the glitter and the colour. So for those of you who have not already subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you did so, please, and like this video, and also just feel free to leave me tips on videos that you would like to see. You know, do you want to see some more designs? Is it more about techniques, different nail art styles, or, you know, some of the basics of gel polish and builder gel, that kind of thing? Always open to suggestions. So this is the nail that I wasn't really sure if I had a crack across the nail or not. I think I caught this nail about 3 weeks ago. I hadn't had the mani on for very long. And it wasn't bad, like it sort of bent my nail back a bit, not enough to bleed or anything like that. But you know, when it's just a bit tender for a few days afterwards, and you know that you've kind of, you know, you've hurt your finger a little bit. And I do have a little bit of a chip. I think it probably zooms in a little bit later. And all you see me do is just remove the gel polish around it. Basically, it was just a little bit of a chip and then a bit of lifting around it, which is not surprising when you get a chip like that. So I just go in and I just remove all the gel around it and basically remove it. That bit does end up cutting back to my natural nail. I did do that bit with my arbor band, which I'm not sure I actually captured that on video. I think I forgot to press record on that bit. So I only use this coarse bit when I'm like quite a good distance from my natural nail. You can see there I'm sussing it out and I'm flicking away some of the lifting that I had. But once I start getting closer to the natural nail, I stop using this coarse bit. Sometimes I go in with my fine ceramic bit, or I will go in with my fine sanding band. Sanding band, I couldn't think of the term. I'm having Friday night brain. But anyway, so yes, I only ever go in with my fine ceramic bit or my fine sanding band when I get close to the natural nail. Or sometimes I just put my efile down and I just go in with a 180 grit hand file. So it really depends on my mood. Sometimes I don't touch a hand file and I do everything with my efile. Most of the time I do a combination. So when it comes to removing gel design, I always use my efile. You can use a hand file, but when you've got an efile, it just makes sense to use that. It's much gentler on the hands, and it does all the work for you. As long as you just need to make sure that you're on the right speed and you've got the right drill bit, and then it's all good. You know, put a little bit of, it's not even pressure, obviously you just need to touch the nail so that your drill bit's making contact, but you're not putting any pressure on your nail at all. If you find you're trying to press hard because you're not really removing the polish, you either need to look at your drill bit, maybe your drill bit's worn down, or you might need to increase the speed on your efile because your efile can be too slow. When you see me flicking like that, all I'm doing is I'm just flicking away the dust so that I can see more closely how far I've got to go with the builder gel, how close I am to my natural nail. Because, you know, when you've got a lot of dust sitting on your fingers, it can be hard to see. So when you see me flicking like that, I'm just flicking the dust away. So now we're coming in with my nail brush. Normally I have this with me, but that's why I was sort of flicking the sanding dust away with my fingers because I didn't have my brush. So normally I have that on hand. So I've obviously retrieved that just then. So yes, I'm just removing the dust or as much as I can. I also remove the dust from my drill bit before I put that away. And I've gone off to get my next bit, which is my cuticle bit. So this is where I'm going to be doing my cuticle prep. So I've got my beautiful cuticle bit all ready to go, and I'm just coming in with my cuticle pusher and pushing back that eponychium to expose the cuticle on the nail plate, because that is what we are going to be removing with our efile. So you want to do this gently. Make sure that your cuticle pusher is, as flat to the nail as you can, so that you're not taking any gouges out of your nail. And now I'm going to come in with my cuticle bit. So I'm on about 5,000 or 6,000 rotations per minute. I don't tend to go above that when I'm working on the natural nail. So I'm still in forward mode because I'm going from the right side to the left side of my nail. I am still in forward mode at this point. But when I come to go the other way, then I will put my efile in reverse mode. So you really just want a bit of a light touch with this, depending on how much cuticle you've got. I don't have a huge amount, as you can see, so I'm just doing a bit of a light sweep around the cuticle area, just to make sure I've got rid of any of that dead cuticle and skin on the nail plate. Okay, so we've done with that. So when I come to stop my efile, I always stop my efile before I change direction. So I've just stopped it and popped it into reverse mode because we're going to go from left to right across the nail at this point. So same thing again, just gently going from one side of the nail to the other. I never sort of rotate sides with my efile. I just go one direction, lift the efile, and then go in the same direction again. It's just safer. You're less likely to lose control of your efile and potentially cut yourself. So that's it for the cuticle work. Oh, there you go. I did record part of that. I'm coming in with my fine sanding band, and I'm just going back over and just clearing that, just blending that area between the builder gel and the natural nail. I don't need to do a lot of that in this case because I have taken that builder gel down quite far, as you can see. And I think in this bit you can see a bit more clearly that I've got a mismatch of the milky white and the nude builder gel. But it doesn't matter because I always use gel polish. I can't remember the last time you could actually see my builder gel on all my nails. I always have some design on or other, so it really doesn't matter how many mixtures of builder gel colours, which is why I didn't remove the white in the first place, because it wasn't doing any harm. So I do have a little bit of lifting in certain places, as you can see. Which is when I'm sort of going, and of course with the lifting you don't want to actually file the lifting itself, you want to file the gel around where the lifting is, and then at that point basically once you've cut that connection, then the loose bit will just, the lifted bit will just ping away anyway, depending on the size of it. Sometimes they can ping a good distance, other times they just sort of drop to the side, but it's the best way to get rid of any lifting that you might have. And this is a fine sanding band. I don't have anything coarser than that because I only ever use sanding bands on my natural nail. So fine is sufficient. I don't like using anything coarser than that on my natural nails. Got a tricky little bit of lifting in that corner as well. As I said, I did have that builder gel on for quite a long time. So yes, I probably should have removed it from my last refill or the refill before that, but you know, time and all of those things. So I just left it on for longer than I normally would. And of course, you know, the alternative is that you could soak this off if that's what you wanted to do. But for me, my nails have no strength. That's how I got into builder gel in the first place. So I just tend to keep a thin layer of builder gel on my nails at all times. And this was my tricky nail that had the little chip in it. You can probably see getting a little bit closer here, getting rid of that little bit of lifting. And yeah, so on this nail I do remove a little bit more of the builder gel than I do on the other nails because I did have that little crack and that little bit of lifting. So here I'm just going in to have a look, and I'm sorry I'm a little bit out of shot there. But my camera was like right in my face where I needed to look, so I was trying to peer around my camera. Yeah, it's a bit tricky sometimes doing e-filing with the camera rolling because it's sort of right where you need to be looking. But never mind. I think we got there in the end. So yes, I do go out of shot a couple of times. So I do apologise for that. I'm just going in and blending out that join there where the builder gel starts and getting that nice smooth surface in preparation for my next mani. So as always, I would like to thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you have found it helpful in some way. If nothing else, it can be very therapeutic watching someone else do their nails, I think. So yes, I hope you have found it helpful in some way. If you do have any requests for certain types of videos, then please leave a comment and like and subscribe, and I shall see you all in the next one. Thanks very much for watching. Stay safe and stay well. There we go. All done. See you in the next one. Bye.